Sorry, just wanted a drink.
Hi, welcome to Amy Loves Bad Movies. I'm Amy, and with me as always is Josh here.
Yep.
And we are not seeing The Mummy.
No.
Because we decided to skip that because it's apparently horrible.
I will not give them money.
Which is usually a nice prerequisite for the show, but it's not something that we feel like we want to spend our movie budget on right now.
Yeah.
So we might see it in the future, but not at the moment. So today we are seeing...
SpiderMan Homecoming.
SpiderMan Homecoming.
As evidenced by the...
By the spider tits? Anyway, so it's another Marvel production. So we know we're not going to come out of this angry. It's going to be good.
But it is the third Spider-Man. But I've heard it's been... All early reviews for it have been glowing and fantastic. And apparently Tom Holland is the pinnacle Spider-Man, as many people say.
If nothing else, he is the hardest working. If anybody has seen the video that's going around, it's a video of him training to do the stunts and stuff, and how he had to do these ridiculous flips, and how he wasn't quite getting them at first. You see him hit the mat hard, like really hard, and then get back up and try again, and then before the end he's doing these amazing twists and backflips and jumps, and it makes me confident that I'm not going to get that horrendous CGI Spider-Man that we got in the Raimi films for the most part. Mm-hmm. And don't get me wrong, I like the Raimi films, but how
I figured the previous iteration of Spider-Man was Tobey Maguire was a pretty good Peter Parker. Mm-hmm. He was decent, kind of Spider-Man.
Garfield was a really good Spider-Man.
Really good Spider-Man.
Really good Spider-Man.
Terrible
Shit
Parker.
Peter Parker. And that wasn't his fault. The writers just didn't give him anything to do.
Mm-hmm. And apparently now that Marvel has gotten their hands back on, their dream boy here, because Spider-Man kind of kicked everything off.
Well, they're still sharing it with Sony, so this is technically also a Sony movie.
Yeah. It's like, well, hopefully this works out great for both of you guys. Seriously, you were considering doing an Aunt May origin issue, but apparently this Spider-Man is... Tom Holland is apparently both a great Parker and a great Spider-Man all in the same one, because it actually fits.
Not to mention the first Spider-Man that has a Queen's accent, but continue.
Who exactly, the character of Spider-Man is supposed to be. Mm. And I'm just sitting here thinking, wow, why can't we have this sort of approach to, Superman or, Batman or any DC characters? We got it with
Wonder Woman. Maybe we'll get it some more when the new Justice League movie comes out with the Joss Whedon spit and polish on it. The foundations are still from Snyder, so it's not going to be perfect.
No.
But it apparently Joss has been doing like reshoots and stuff like that.
So it's been delayed, right? No. Well, shit.
Also, Michael Keaton. This is his return to superhero movies since Birdman,
and
as a villain, and I'm pretty sure he's going to be fantastic.
Mm-hmm. And a lot of people are saying that he is great in this. Apparently, he stands out as one of the best Spider-Man, best Marvel villains we've had in a while. Right, because
this hopefully he's the return of the good Marvel villain, because we haven't had many of those.
Yeah, because Spider-Man's villains stand out as some of the most iconic bad guys in
Where's our Rey
anything.
Mysterio, man? I want to see Rey Mysterio in something.
Yeah, I would love to see the Shocker, Rey Mysterio, and that's what do you think? You go Rogues Gallery, the two biggest Rogues Gallery anyone can think of is Batman's and Spider-Man's.
But anyway, I guess since we've been talking for quite a bit, wrap it up. Any expectations for this movie other than just going in wanting a good Spider-Man film?
I just want them to have fun and actually do Spider-Man and not try to make it cool for everybody. Skateboarding, super athlete. God, I'm having flashbacks to the Amazing Spider-Man. It was not amazing. It was dreadful. Anyway.
Yeah. We saw that one with your brother too.
And then we immediately got out and started talking about how awesome the Avengers was. And then we were and then I called it out. I was like, It's probably a bad sign for the movie when we start talking about something else being far
Like,
superior.
immediately. Anywho. Okay, so... Oh, we're also doing an event, because we're at the Alamo Draft House. I forgot to mention that. We are at the Alamo Draft House, and so we wanted to... they're having, like, a cosplay event, so we'll be... There, you might see pictures from that on my Instagram and stuff like that. So we're actually meeting friends. So we should probably go before they leave, because they have to go somewhere else to see the movie.
Here's my report for tonight. I stopped the Grand Theft bicycle. Hey, could you do me a favor? Hold on to that. Is this anybody's bike? Oh, I helped this old lady, and she bought me a churro. So, that was nice.
Well, welcome back. That was a fucking amazing movie. I think this is one of my favorite films of all time. Not just Spider-Man movies, not just comic book movies. This movie was fucking flawless.
This is one of my new favorite movies of all time. They did such a damn good job. Like, it was... like, of all the things it could have been, it could have just been another Spider-Man story, or
and that's what the thing, the stories that we covered before, they've been kind of Spider-Man movies, but not really. This one was flat out no way, the other way you can look at it. It was a Spider-Man goddamn movie, right down to what Peter Parker represents, the struggles he goes through. Like, they managed to have the suit doesn't make me, I make me moment without involving the symbiote. That's usually a black suit Spider-Man thing. They managed to do that without involving the symbiote at all.
I really don't want to say much because it's one of those things. It's like, no, if I say anything, it will diminish anything about this movie. As a matter of fact, if you just stop watching this video right here and go watch the movie yourself,
go watch the movie. It's worth it.
It is so damn good.
If you've already seen the movie and just want to hear our reactions to it, continue watching, because this is where it's going to get spoilery. So, what was the thing about this movie that just made you go, oh my god, yes?
Tom Holland.
Tom Holland in general, yeah.
Freaking fantastic. Well, a lot of it is... This movie is really, really amazingly well cast. And just about everyone in every single part does their job splendidly. Marisa Tomei as Aunt May is dynamite.
She's my favorite Aunt May. And it's not just because she's young, it's because she's got the personality of Aunt May down.
Yeah, she does a really good job at being very familial and...
supportive, but also... you know, you can tell she's just gone through a trauma. The whole Ben thing is a background thing. It's something everybody knows that's gone down. It's like Superman being from Krypton. It's something everybody knows about Spider-Man, whether or not you read the comics. So they don't have to say it out loud. And it's just, you just know that that's what's happened. And you can see her sort of PTSD about it. Like, hey, if something happens and something goes down, you run the other way because I need you. You know? Her worrying when he's been gone all night, and really giving him the business when he gets home. Yeah, the fact that she's hot and Marisa Tomei is like a nice little icing on the cake.
Ned, Peter's best friend.
I thought he was gonna get annoying, but no, he did not.
Oh man,
he's gold.
He. I don't know. I think the actor's name was Jacob.
Yeah.
Something or other. I was too busy just glowing and to actually catch the name. Sorry about that. Fantastic job from him, because he was just like, I would want to be friends with that guy.
Yeah.
He somehow unintentionally finds out that Peter Parker's Spider-Man, and he just
immediately is like, can I help you? What can I do?
All the questions. Dude, let me be cool with you and everything like that, and got on the chair.
And he ends up being more than just comic relief. He ends up being a pretty big part of Spider-Man succeeding in the end.
Guy in the chair. Michael Keaton as Vulture. When I first heard that they were going to stick with Vulture, I wasn't too sure about the villain choice.
Yeah, I've only ever seen him really in some of the comics and some of the TV shows, like the Saturday morning TV shows, where he's just kind of this old guy who's mainly just greedy. And they did keep that motivation in this, but there's a whole other layer to it that makes him kind of likable, but also extremely terrifying.
If you thought about it, you could have gone with, well, obviously you couldn't go with Venom or all of those sorts of guys. You
They're
could have
too big.
maybe Rhino or...
The Shocker.
Well, the
Or
Shocker was in
Electro.
this movie, in More Ways Than One, which I enjoyed the hell out of because he was like prime candidate for Saturday morning filler villain. A lot of this movie surprised the hell out of me, and I enjoyed that so much. Just being able to be surprised at a movie is something that rarely happens to me. And it happened a lot during this movie, and I fucking loved it.
Every time Tony popped up, it was pretty great. It was pretty in keeping with his character. Happy gets a lot of screen time in this.
It was nice to see, yeah.
And it was nice to
Bob Rowe
see,
back.
yes, it was very nice to see him.
And they really bring out that friendly neighborhood Spider-Man aspect. Like, just so much stuff that he does and hangs out with people.
Writing notes for people, getting rewarded with a churro.
A lady bought me a churro.
Yeah.
But they also understood the fact that, like, a lot of New Yorkers love Spider-Man.
Yes. That is a thing.
Fun story, I actually went and saw the old Spider-Man 2 movie while I was on a trip in New York City. They were the rowdiest bunch, and I loved it. And yeah, New Yorkers love them some Spider-Man. So seeing that like play out in the film in a very charming way, not like an overly oh my god, Spider-Man.
Literally, there's a guy that goes like, "Hey, you're Spider-Man, right?
You're the Spider guy. It's more Spider-Man. Do a flip.
Do the flip." That is the most realistic thing about the movie. Let me tell you about the most unrealistic thing about this movie. I am from Maryland / DC. I'm from the metro area. The most unrealistic thing that actually broke the reality for me for just a moment. The elevator in the Washington Monument was working. That thing is never fucking working. Ever. There's my anecdote.
They're in mortal peril.
It did shock me
man.
to hear my home state mentioned, though.
Oh man! Oh,
Because they were like,
Maryland.
they're going through. It starts out like it's going through Queens, then it's going through Jersey, and then it's like, oh, it stopped, and it's a long sequence. Oh, it stopped, and it was like, it's in Maryland, and I went,
Well,
what the fuck? And they're like, what's in Maryland? And I'm like, I don't know.
The decathlons in Washington D.C. That's pretty close to Maryland.
And I'm like, you're right. It's about 30 minutes, depending on where you're coming from. And then we get to see Spider-Man going all over DC. Mind you, there aren't a lot of tall buildings in DC. So that was interesting. He got around mainly by jumping on cars.
Yeah. Oh my god.
The scene.
Oh my
the
god.
scene in the golf course.
No, all the parts where it just kind of explains how Spider-Man is absolutely crap out of the city. Some of the best stuff, because he has to like go running through the suburbs and running down like through the Smithsonian at Washington D.C. and a whole bunch of other stuff. And I'm just like, I love this. I love how they're just kind of pointing out, it's like, yeah, he's really great at his home turf. These other places,
and that's actually one of the points of the movie is he learns that where he belongs is as your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. One of the big things he's trying to do through this whole movie is join the Avengers and be like an official Avenger and like be a part of the group. To the point where he's constantly bugging Happy and Tony about it, and you know, he wants to quit school and just be an Avenger and like have that be his life. And just rush through, you know, like his earlier movies, just rush through the whole high school stage and just be the broke college student Spider-Man. And in the end, he chooses, no, I don't want the fancy suit. I don't want to be an Avenger. I want to take my time and be a kid for a little while still being Spider-Man, but on my own terms and at my own pace. And that's the moral of this movie. That's the journey he goes through, and it's a really good one.
I really, really enjoyed and connected with this Peter Parker. Like,
He's 14. They make a point of saying, 15.
15.
But they make a point of, there's even a scene where he's under rubble and he's crying. He's a child. That's when we remember, oh, hey, Spider-Man is a child. And he's, like, sitting there, he's trying to pull himself up, and then there's this moment where he gives up for just a half a second. He gives up. He gives into the fact that I'm a kid. I can't do this. What am I doing? He has that sort of panicky moment. And then he sees his reflection in the water, and his mask has fallen into the water, and you get, like, the half Spider-Man, half Peter Parker, and he looks and he sees himself, and he regains a moment of, like, you know what? This is who I am. I can do this. This is what I'm supposed to be doing. And that's when he finds the strength to fight back. And it's great. There's a lot of moments like that in this movie. He ends up saving the villain in the end, and there's a lot of... Oh, yeah. The one that shocked the hell out of you is Liz's relationship to the Vulture.
That moment where, all right, we're going to be doing normal teenager stuff, like...
And Peter it goes on for a good while, yeah. He got into deep shit with Tony. Yeah,
Peter has gotten the suit taken away from him, and he's in trouble at school. He's in trouble with, like, his friends and everything like that, and he decides, you know what, I'm going to try doing the teenage thing.
Yeah,
so he's like, all right, I'm just going to be Peter for a while.
He does well in school.
He gets the girl that he's so interested in to be his date at homecoming, and
he literally learns the lesson that every single other Peter Parker has been trying to learn. Hey, you need to take some time and be Peter as well as Spider-Man. And he kind of learns that during that time. Yeah,
and like, he gets prepared. He tries to learn how to dance. It's there's so much of this movie where it just spends time with, like, yes, Peter is a teenager trying to deal with teenage stuff, hormones, learning new things,
talking to girls,
getting in over your head about a lot of stuff. Yeah, I know about
bullies. That. Like, not just bullies that beat you up, but bullies that flash in this, which is usually, like, some hulking jock, little dumb, and kind of, like, bullies him by physically. That's how he's traditionally. And this one, he is, like, an emotional bully. He's like a mean girl. Flash is a mean girl in this movie.
But yeah, it deals a lot with him being as a teenager and having to go through this stuff. Mm-hmm. So when he finally cuts back and decides, you know what, I'm going to do this teenage thing, he gets a girl that he's so interested in to go with the dance to him. And he goes, he prepares for everything for the prom. You know, he gets a suit, he learns how to tie a tie, learns how to dance, gets a corsage. You know, he goes through all the bits and pieces. He runs a plan by Aunt May because, oh my gosh, I'm so excited for you to be doing this thing. And he goes up and knocks at the door, and the soundtrack cuts, and there's the Vulture. It's her dad. And I remember just going, oh. And they do this really well because, like, you see the color drain from his face, and
you could feel everyone in the audience just go, oh shit.
And it gets incredibly real with all the situations that arise from this sort of thing, and people won't shut up, and things just get worse, and it's just great.
The scene in the car, because Vulture, of course, doesn't realize it's Peter at first. But his daughter Liz keeps talking about things. And things start to add up for Vulture. And Vulture keeps asking questions. And, you know, this is when you realize we've got a smart villain. Mm-hmm. He is not unintelligent at all. Like, seriously, my favorite villain. Fight me. Better than Loki. Fight me. But yeah, that's the scene when you really get to see the cinematography in this movie. Mm-hmm. When he realizes what's going on with Peter, I think it's coming from the stoplight. It goes from red to Vulture green, and it's just, Michael Keaton has this look on his face, and it's just, you know he knows, and that this is not going to end well for Peter. And he threatens him. I mean, really threatens him. After the daughter leaves, he's like, I'm going to give him the dad talk. And then it turns out to be like, hey, I'm going to give you one chance. You're going to go in there and you're going to show my daughter a good time, but not too good. and I'm gonna go do what I'm gonna do. And if you go in there, nothing bad will happen. But if you come after me, I will kill you and everyone you love. And it's so kind of the cliche speech to give, but the way he delivers it, it is genuinely terrifying. Because it's done so sincerely. And that's the other thing. A lot of the stuff his character says in this, it's very cliche, but Michael Keaton brings such a sincerity to it and to the role that you buy every single syllable.
Oh.
So yeah. If you didn't heed our warning and you watch this without...
You're fucked.
You're fucked. But you're still probably going to enjoy the movie. I kind of want to go see it again.
I was like, I just want to be like, oh, it's a great movie. Go watch the movie. I'm not even going to talk about it. She was like, I'm going to spoil the hell out of it.
Because it's the fucking show. What do you want me to do? Just say, oh, hey, it's a good movie. Go see it. Thanks for the view. I have no idea what we're going to see next. Because I have no idea what's coming out next.
Yeah. Yeah, we should see
We should go see Baby Driver. So we're going to go see the new Edgar Wright joint. And, yeah, that'll be the next thing you see from us. All right. Bye, guys. Oh,
Bye.
Fuck, the battery's dying like a motherfucker.
All the batteries are dying. They're now dying. We need to get some more glowy rocks in order to not explode ourselves. It's a bomb.
God, yeah, when he's on the phone with his best friend, like, oh my god, no, the glowy thing is a bomb.
Every single phone
One of
call.
the best
Oh
lines.
my god.
Yeah.
It's like,
the glowy thing is a bomb. It's a bomb.
Why
He's
is
going
every
into the
single phone call this
Smithsonian with a
terrifying?
bomb. Oh my god. Anyway. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.